Hey everyone, so in today's video what I'm going to talk to you about is your shooting guide hand. Now I've been requested to do this video multiple times by multiple people, so let's get down to it. Okay, so your guide hand is the hand, so for example if you're right-handed it would be your left hand, and your guide hand is this hand right here. Now, generally speaking, you want to have your fingertips on the ball at all times. You do not want your palms on that ball. You want there to be a little bit of space in most cases. Now, there are so many different ways on how you can use your guide hand and how you can have your guide hand on the ball. So for me, I like to make a little bit of a W. So for me, my W is like this. Now this is not the same for some players. Some players may make a T, while others may make more of a diamond or more of a triangle. And there really is no perfect way to shooting a ball with your guide hand. Everyone does have a different way of shooting. Some people have actually shot like this. Now that's ugly, it doesn't work all that well, but for some people it does work. Now, one of my best friends in high school, he shot like this. I don't know how he did it. He just did it, and it didn't make any sense, but he could shoot threes like 90% of the time. So I just said, I'm not going to critique it. I'm not going to say anything. He shoots really well. But when you go up into your shot, so you've got your gather, you may have a dip. Most likely you'll have a dip. It's like a backswing in golf. And then when you bring that ball up into your shot, what you generally want to do is to release that hand first and then take your shot, generally speaking. There are some really good players who do not do that. Players like Steph Curry as well as Kyrie Irving actually shoot with a slight thumb flick first and then they release that ball. And what it basically looks like is a quick thumb flick and then they release. Now, if you're a younger player and you're shooting with essentially two hands, which means that you're releasing the ball at the same time as your thumb's releasing the ball, that is when you would want to change your shooting form. Because what happens when you shoot with a thumb flick, if the thumb is flicking at the same time as releasing that ball, what's going to happen is your ball is not going to have any spin in the air. So if you're wondering if your shot doesn't have any rotation, that's most likely why. And then what also happens is if you're shooting with essentially two hands, you're not going to get much arc on your shot, and arc makes it a lot easier to make those shots. Now, I have even seen players who go up halfway into their shooting form or halfway into their set point, and then they already release it and they essentially release with one hand. Now, you can do that, but I would suggest using two hands all the way up until you get to your set point, and that's when you would want to release that guide hand and then take that shot. If in your video, if you take video of yourself shooting and you see that your thumb is pointing forward, either like this, your whole palm, or like this where you're pointing forward and your thumb's pointing forward, that means that you have a slight thumb flick. Does that mean anything? Not necessarily. If you're shooting with a thumb flick, you have more than 2.5 rotations when it's in the air and you have a lot of arc on your shot, it's not something you need to correct. You'll be shooting similar to myself, Kyrie Irving, and Steph Curry. A lot of other shooters as well shoot like that. But if you're shooting, you have no rotation, you have a thumb flick, you have either both or one of either no arc or no rotation, that's when you need to change your thumb flick. And believe me, it's extremely hard to get rid of a thumb flick. I shot with a massive thumb flick when I was younger, and it didn't necessarily affect my shot, but I did sort of move away from it. But I still do shoot with a slight thumb flick when I'm farther away from the basket. It doesn't affect my shot. It's very similar to a Curry shot where I release the thumb and then I release the ball. So if your shot's like that, you don't necessarily have to worry. But if you want to get rid of your thumb flick because it's affecting your rotation as well as your arc, start close to the rim, take literally 100 shots from the rim, this close. You want to get your legs into it as well, especially if you're short, and you want to make sure you're focusing on, a little bit left that time, you want to really focus it on your guide hand. You want to really look at that thumb to make sure that it's not flicking that ball. And if you can do that, 100 makes from here, take a step back and do the exact same thing from here. Now, it was short, that means I need more legs. There we go. And you can keep on shooting from here. Literally do another 100. I need more legs. Need more legs. Need more arc. See? And you can correct yourself by talking to yourself as well. If you hit the back of the rim, more arc. Hit the front, more legs. Focus on no thumb flick, 100 shots, take a step back, 100, and you keep on working back. Now, I hope that this video has helped you become a better shooter in basketball. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.